Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV and Radio, where wisdom meets experience. Join a dynamic lineup of thought leaders, professionals, and changemakers from around the world. Dr. Madeline Chan from the UK, Mariska Dupreya from Australia, Red.olaughlin from Texas, USA, Carolyn Heward from the UK, Zunette Lube from Cape Town, South Africa, as they share expert insights, personal journeys, and impactful strategies for success. Talking Heads isn't just a show, it's a global stage for education, collaboration, and inspiration. So elevate your knowledge, expand your perspective, engage in conversations that matter. Streaming globally, empowering locally, this is Talking Heads, only on USA Global TV and Radio.
red.olaughlin here. We're on Talking Heads on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. And my topic today is your personal longevity plan can start today. And in fact, in reality, you've already started it. You've been doing it literally your whole life. However, if you don't know what you're doing, maybe a couple of things you're doing might not necessarily align to having a really healthy retirement. So why don't we just jump into the topic today? Let me get my slides loaded up here and we'll be ready to start in a second. There we go. Okay, so your personal longevity plan can start today. In fact, it already has started. We're live streaming TV, not a podcast, although we do show up on podcasts down the road, but we're live streaming TV on Amazon Fire, Zizzle, E360, YouTube, Android, Apple. I have it on a couple of simulcasts on my social media, on my Facebook, and more. But for everything that I do here on Talking Heads is for awareness and education. My website is red.olaughlin.com. That's red, R-E-D, like the color, Olaughlin, OLAUGHLIN.com, red.olaughlin.com. My books can be found there. I have several hundred videos. I have probably 1,500 blogs, all on some aspect of health and wellness, longevity, age-related disease. But most of the things I do nowadays all centers around some aspect of aging. The video archives can be found on USA Global TV on YouTube. I have some, not all, but I have some of mine on my own website, red.olaughlin.com. Okay, a little bit about me. I claim to be a researcher. That's what I do nowadays. I retired almost 20 years ago, but I research things that I enjoy. I fell in love with chemistry many, many years ago, but I've never been in the medical or pharmaceutical field. So when I'm looking at the body, the cellular level of the body and molecular level of the body, I'm looking for cause and effect relationships. My first degree was chemistry. I fell in love with it, got an invitation to Vietnam, never practiced it. Although I'm using it now for my research. I have a total of 5 academic degrees, all in different topics, all in different subjects. I got over half a dozen professional certifications. My primary non-military civilian specialties were in quality assurance, reliability engineering, and logistics engineering. I spent 31 plus years in the military. I retired as a Navy captain. I flew for 16 years, naval aviator. Navy was good to me. I got 62 countries, got my wife to 32 of them. And I did get an invitation to Vietnam at the beginning of my career and an invitation to Bosnia at the end of my career. And yes, I ended up going. But my focus in life nowadays, my research passion, is cause and effect relationships. If I can treat a cause, I can generally fix a problem or at least put a dent in it. But if all I'm doing is treating symptoms, I'm putting a Band-Aid on every other day and that's about it. Nothing changes. But if the body doesn't heal itself, the cause could actually get worse. So on a personal note, my wife and I have been married 57 years. We have a couple kids, 3 grandkids, and 1 great grandson. He'll be 2 here in literally almost a month. Best-selling author of several books, independent publisher. I've done about 50 books for other people. Distinguished Toastmaster, writer. I have over 1,000 original content articles on LinkedIn. International TV host. Last year in 2024, I was ranked as number 2 and number 6 in different categories. This year, first 6 months, I ended up being number 1 TV host. Something happened. I don't know what. Things went crazy. And I ended up number 3 overall for 2025. I just haven't put that on the slide yet, but super happy about it. I'm just absolutely flabbergasted. So thank you, USA Global TV and Radio audience. I really appreciate it. Okay. A book I'm recommending today is Longevity Secrets for Healthy Aging: How to Live to 100 Years of Age with the Body of a Healthy 50-year-old and the Mind of a 25-year-old. Well, the mind part's pretty easy because your mind really doesn't age much over 25, but the rest of it can be difficult. But your personal longevity plan can start today, and in reality already has. The information that I put out today is for educational purposes only. Oh, here we go. Your personal longevity plan. You can do it. It's practical. It starts today. And like I say, it's already started. But what we're going to do is tweak it to make it better. It's not going to be intimidating. You're not going to learn any new habits. Everything you're doing right now, you're just going to make some minor change to. Yeah, there might be a new habit, but we're taking things from theory to action. Things that you can do now. I mean, literally this afternoon, you can start. Plans win. If you have a strategy for something, yeah, the strategy may win. But if you have a plan, especially if it's a written plan, things tend to win when you have a plan. Because it's yours, personal ownership, it fits your schedule. You want to live healthier, longer, stronger. These are all things that you want in order to be better down the road. Most of us have been overwhelmed by conflicting health advice. I mean, I look at various videos and things, and okay, this person, is 72 years of age, back in his 20s, he was told this, and that's what he's been doing for the last 40 years. But maybe they were wrong 40 years ago. And so we end up with, is this really and truly good for me or not? I don't know. So we have conflicting health advice, but we also have health advices coming out because our ability to see and improve the instrumentation, the doctor's knowledges, the industry's ability, all of those things are continuing to improve. So we're learning more and more every day. But we still need to be skeptical of miracle claims. Okay, do this for 30 days and you lost 20 pounds, you look 30 years younger. No. Yeah, some miracle claims can work, but they don't. In fact, I was listening to something, I was reading it this morning, and it says that when let's say you go on a really strict diet and you lose, let's say 20 pounds, when you get off the diet, now you've changed the plan that you had, you no longer have that plan. But what happens is your fat comes back at about 44% of what you had before, and your muscle comes back at 28%. It would be ideal to have that reversed, to have the muscle there to burn more fat. But the way our bodies work is that unless we keep that discipline going, the fat seems to come back and saturate us faster than the muscle strength does. So, and in reality, you get tired of treating symptoms, especially when you don't see any results. You do this, you take this pill for 30 days. I don't see anything. My hearing's no better. My vision's no better. I still weighs the same. I don't see anything different. Well, things may be changing, but we are not necessarily patient enough to see them through. And we're seeing ourselves getting older on every birthday, and we start dreading the symptoms of anything that's age related. My vision's starting to change a little bit. I can't see, I can't read, I need more light. What'd you say? Can't hear that. Lots of things. Where did I put my car keys? All of those things, you start thinking, I'm getting old, age. Oh my goodness. Those things are problems. So, well, let's not focus on the products, the single interventions, and the fear, because as I said at the beginning, what we're doing right now is literally the plan. We just don't know it. So if I want to concentrate on cause and effect relationships, what's causing me to age poorly or age healthier? So I want to avoid the long supplement list. I don't want any hacks for health things to do. Let's just keep things. What can I focus on that causes aging that I can modify my result by getting maybe a little bit better health, reduce the risk of heart attack, reduce the risk of stroke, those kinds of things that would make my end of life, last 20 years, enjoyable. Earlier this year, I did a couple different multiple presentations on the hallmarks of aging. And in that particular one, we talked, and this was, I think, 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. I can't remember how many sessions we did. But I talked about in detail genetic instability, telomere attrition, epigenetic alterations, loss of proteostasis, deregulated nutrient sensing, mitochondrial dysfunction, cellular senescence. Lots of big words. They sound crazy. They sound, I have no idea what that is, and it's true. But we did go into a lot of detail. Stem cell exhaustion, altered cellular communication. And that's a big one, that when the cells are not communicating. But what we found out was that each one of those dozen hallmarks of aging actually could be corrected by adopting a lifestyle choice. In other words, my diet, my exercise, my stress management, my toxins, my sleep, all of those things actually addressed the negative aspects of aging. So if I'm not eating right, I'm not exercising right, I'm not treating my stress right, I'm actually allowing the aging process to become a bigger part of my retirement. So the list, it looks daunting, it really does, but we covered each one. So you want to go back into the archives and see exactly what I said. It's going to be called the hallmarks of aging. And I go into each one in absolute detail. But the good news is that one fix fixes all, and that fix is lifestyle choices. Those lifestyle choices are the things we do every day. We make choices. What are we eating? When do we go to sleep? How do I de-stress? How do I avoid conflict? All sorts of things that we do every single day are determining our longevity, are determining our health. So there was an article very recently in Time magazine. It says 70% of aging is lifestyle choices. And so, yeah, you may have some genetic factors. You may have a car wreck. You may have a pandemic. You may have other things that are there that can affect your health. But in reality, the choices you make every day to what you eat, your balanced nutrition, your caloric restriction, cutting back a little bit on what you eat, any kind of fasting you do, whether it's intermittent or extended, the quality of your sleep, the kinds of exercises you do, the way you manage your stress, the way you avoid toxins. Socialization is such a big one because it has such a major impact on the inflammation in the body. But there's a lot of things that we do every single day. We don't even think about them. We just go to lunch, order something. We get upset about traffic. We just things that we make a decision to do every day. Okay, I'm going to bed at midnight tonight because I got it. These are decisions that we make. That's what we need to look at. You want to start a longevity plan today? Start looking at the decisions you make every single day. That's called generally lifestyle choices, lifestyle decisions. Okay. In reality, we do, sleep, eat, exercise. We do these things every day. Yeah, we may not exercise, but we get up and walk around. I mean, I looked at my phone a day or two ago, and here's one day I had 1,400 steps. The next day I had 5,800. Well, how did I get another 4,000 steps in between those two? Because I was out doing things. I wasn't just sitting around the house. In fact, sitting is one of those ones that it's a major 70% factor in being able to say, I'm going to age and I'm not going to do it very well. So if you can get up every 45, 50, 55 minutes, get up, stand, watch the commercial standing, walk around the room. Sitting is probably one of the most, if it's not the absolute most terrible thing you can do long term, it's certainly ranking up there in the top couple. Sleep, that's where our body repairs itself. If you're not getting decent sleep, quality sleep, long enough sleep, your body can't repair itself. And as you get older, we tend to think I could live on 4 or 5 hours. I've done it all my life. No, you really need that 7, 8, or 9 hours sleep because your body doesn't process stuff the way it used to. We just slow down a little bit. We can eat healthier, but again, that requires some awareness, some education. What am I eating now that I shouldn't be eating? And that's a decision that you really need to look at, because if you're going to start a longevity plan, you can't be sitting there and having a carb dinner for breakfast, a carb dinner for lunch, a carb dinner for dinner, because the carbs are not necessarily bad in and of themselves, but it's the overabundance of them that we cause a problem. Insulin resistance, diabetes risk improvement, just lots of things. So the kinds of things we eat are super critical. The quantity of things we eat are super critical. We can purposely choose our exercises. If I want to get up and walk up and down the stairs, walk around the room, walk outside the front yard, we choose what we do. But sometimes it's too cold, I can't go walking today. I'm waiting for a phone call, I can't go to the gym. There's so many things that we use excuses for, but we should be able to balance exercises at home. We ought to be able to do flexibility exercises at home. I may not be able to do endurance. I may not be able to do cardio. Maybe not. But YouTube has so many things we can do, and we should. Stress management, toxins, relationships, lots of things there we can do, but sometimes we don't. The question is why? Well, that gets into our subconscious mind. And when we start looking at, let's say I've been on a diet every year, January 1st for the last 20 years. And every time I get on the diet, I do well for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden I'm off of it. It's the middle of January, and by the end of January, I've gained 5 pounds. So much for that diet. Well, your subconscious mind stores that failure, and the subconscious mind's primary dictate in life, its number one purpose, is to prevent you from being embarrassed, from being hurt. So you touch the stove when you're young, you don't touch it a second or third time, because that's hurting you. If people are laughing at you, ridiculing you, those are things that you are being embarrassed with. The subconscious mind remembers those. But when you fail, even though it's something you want to have for good health, you failed, the subconscious mind says, I'm a failure, as opposed to, I failed at that. That's a totally different interpretation in the brain. I failed. Okay, I failed that test. Whatever that, big deal. It was a test. But if I classify myself as a failure, which is the way the subconscious brain sees it, all of a sudden I start stacking up these failures. And when I get down to, okay, here, I'm going to do this, now I have a difference of that much. All of these here are failures. Your subconscious mind says, you're going to fail again. I'm not going to let you. And so it sabotages you. A lot of good information here lately, just literally within the last month, that talking to yourself really and truly improves your health. And again, it's part of that affirmation thing. But when you're doing affirmations, they need to be positive, they need to be personal, and they need to be present tense. You can't say, tomorrow I'm going to do this. That's future. You can't say, I don't want to do, that's negative. It has to be positive. So there's certain things that you can do in affirmations that really do, in fact, help. So when you think about losing weight, that's something you failed at. Those are past failures. That's already ingrained. Now, the subconscious mind can't distinguish between real and imagine. You can imagine 100 successes of times when you dieted and absolutely came out with a magnificent body, could do anything. Again, the subconscious mind can't tell the difference. All it knows is that, well, I succeeded that day because your mind told you it was. So if I start doing these positive reinforcements, I can overcome some of those past failures. But what if I change it around, say, I don't want to lose weight, I just want to lose inches. I want to lose visceral fat. I want to do whatever it is, but I'm not equating it to weight loss. So, but you need to know where you are this year. And part of that is having a health assessment. I tell people all the time, so the last time, 1968, I had a flight physical with the military. I have not missed an annual physical since then. We just had ours 2 months ago. So I've had, every year I know where I am. I know pretty much where I want to go. And there's a saying in Alice in Wonderland, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. But we know that we don't want to have dementia. We don't want to have have to walk around with a cane or a walker. We know things we don't want to have, but we're not thinking necessarily of it in a positive mind. We want to be able to go out and play golf, go out and walk 5 miles, whatever it is. Think about the positive aspects of what you need in the future to do. So you know where you're starting from. You also know your limitations and restrictions. Maybe you have a problem with walking. Maybe you have a problem with endurance because of the drugs you're taking. There may be some restrictions. So what you need to do is adopt better lifestyle choices that you can work around those restrictions. What are you eating? How much you're eating? Those are easily workarounds for whatever limitations. Are your affirmations up to date? Are you flowing with are you doing what you say you're doing? So, but there's so many things in there, and part of it's psychological, no doubt about it. Part of it's actually taking action and seeing success after success after success. So, what else can we do? Well, we looked at the hallmarks of aging a moment ago. Why not look at the hallmarks of health? Again, I cover this in a 3 or 4 or 5 week topic. There's actually, I think, a couple extra, 3 extra that I don't have on here because I just wanted it on one slide. But homeostatic resilience, rhythmic oscillations, integration of circulation, recording, recycling and turnover, containment of perturbations, integrity of barriers, repair and regeneration, hormone regulation. In fact, I did last week, I think I talked about hormone regulation, and actually 3 more. So those are the hallmarks of aging. So, and if you look at those, just like I looked at the hallmarks of aging, what controls them? Lifestyle choices. It's interesting. We don't think about the things we do every day are actually controlling our health and our aging, but they do. And so when you are making a poor lifestyle choice, let's say that I'm overeating every day, I'm smoking, I have a 6-pack of beer every night, I'm sitting on the couch for hours on end, I'm really upset with my neighbors, my brother, my whatever it is. All these lifestyle choices that you're choosing the wrong side of the equation to be on actually negatively impact your health, impact your aging, impact your retirement lifestyle. So if we're looking at our aging and we're looking at our health from a hallmark perspective, and we know that our daily lifestyle choices are the things that actually have positive impact on fixing something, our bodies have a remarkable ability to heal. You know, if you're 80 years of age today and you want to make a longevity plan, absolutely, our bodies can heal a lot of things. But if you're 30, 40, or 50, the bodies heal in magnificent ways. So again, you can start up here, but so many things you can do. So what do we want to do? We want to start small, incrementally, and work our way out. So me, I'm a absolute total believer in mitochondrial health. You take care of those little babies down there in your cells, and you will be a happy camper. But if they get clogged up and they're not working well and you're not getting the energy out, you get foggy brain, you'll get apathy, you'll get fatigue, just lots of things happen. And when that opens up the door for dementia and many other things, because the mitochondria in the brain are acting like the mitochondria in the rest of the body. So my lifestyle choices, plus if I'm going to be eating something, why not have balanced nutrition? Why should I be deficient in something? If I'm deficient in vitamin B12, it mimics Alzheimer's. If I'm deficient in some other things, I start bringing on issues with bone density, or I bring on issues with liver or pancreas inflammation that we really never allow the body to heal itself. Infrared radiation, yeah, they say stay away from it. We, for whatever reason, that old guidance that we get, we always say we wear a hat, sunblock, long sleeve shirts, and we avoid sunlight. Sunlight is your friend. Again, a moderation, you know, the infrared, the 3 different frequencies, the first level frequencies, IR, lower level, actually goes through the brain, through the skull, into the spinal column, and that's converted in the body into melatonin, which is a major enhancer for mitochondrial function, ADP production. So that sunshine actually helps you a whole lot. Red light therapy will help. Peptides will help. Antioxidants, absolutely guaranteed. So if I'm not getting enough antioxidants, why? My choice. I didn't choose to buy them. I didn't choose to prepare them. I didn't choose to eat them. Same thing with anti-inflammatories. 95% of all disease literally starts at chronic low-level cellular inflammation in the body. You can control that cellular inflammation. You'll probably control your future risk of disease and everything else. So anti-inflammatory diet, antioxidant diet, a balanced nutrition diet. Those are things you can control. Awareness, education. Go to YouTube, put that in. What are antioxidant foods? Show me. What are anti-inflammatory foods? Show me. YouTube is probably one of the best teachers out there. Our immune system is another one that protects us as we're getting older. But as we get older, things wear out a little bit. They're not operating well. I do a 72-hour fast every month, which literally rebuilds your immune system from scratch. It's called autophagy. All the cells are cleaned out. Everything is recycled. You're basically ending with a brand new set of cells that are operating at their optimum peak. But between your immune system, which is 70, 80% of your gut talks to your brain. So you got a gut-brain axis that's going on there. But the microbiome in the gut also influences the brain. So if I have a brain problem, I probably also have a gut problem. Hormonal balance, big deal, especially as we get older. We're not making as much. And sometimes the receptors on our cells, we're making it. The cells are just refusing to accept that communication from that hormone. Same thing with the peptides. Circadian rhythm, something that governs us all the time. We don't really give it any thought, but we should. Our balance, our strength, particularly when we get older. Those are things that are super critical to keep us from breaking something, from falling down, from becoming injured. Our nervous system health, something that hardly anybody ever talks about. You get your vagus nerve running down the back of your back. That controls so many aspects because it's the monitor that says your brain's in charge of everything. Your subconscious mind is controlling your breathing and blood pressure and everything, but it has to monitor what's going on for your kidneys and your lungs and your heart. And that conduit, that major autobahn, that highway that connects your brain to the rest of your body is your vagus nerve. So you need to be able to, what can I do to help that? So many things. Again, go to YouTube. Hydration, another major factor. A lot of people just don't drink as much as they should. Now, I'm not talking about alcohol, I'm talking about water. Smoking, again, a habit that's not necessarily health enhancing. Yeah, there are people living 104 years of age that smoke and drink. That's the anomaly. That's a different animal. Emotional health, mindfulness, gratitude. Again, that affects, it really and truly affects. That's part of that relational aspect of our health. Our mental health. What boundaries do we have? What connections are being made? How do we help others? Relationships as we get older actually absolutely affect the level of dementia and the intensity of dementia that you might be introduced to later on in life. Health awareness and education, so many places, books, magazines, articles, YouTube, Google. I like Dr. Eric Berg because he explains things in a lot of detail, and I love the detail. He goes into why things are there. I really enjoy it. Dr. Peter Attia, he's one now, I think Lifespan is his latest book I just finished. And he's really big into VO2 max, your oxygen exchange with exercise. And he basically assumes that exercise, your body's ability, that is really the driver of longevity. Walter Longo, I've been following him for a while. He's a professor out at University of California. I'm not sure which one, but he's the one that got me on a 72-hour fast years ago. 120-hour fast improves your pancreas, your ability to process things. So lately, in the last 6 months, Dr. Trevor Bachmeyer, I found him on Instagram, also on YouTube, and he goes into much deeper than I do, but he talks about the primary reasons why we have multiple sclerosis, heart disease, hypertension, you name it, it's there. And what peptides can do in order to fix, alleviate, cure, whatever you want to talk about, that he can do. So I find him to be extremely fascinating. I've seen probably 40 of his videos, and I'm amazed every time I sit down and watch a new one. But go get yourself a guru, maybe more than one. And here's where things, you really do need to sit down, even if it's just on the back of a piece of paper. What is your written plan? This is, people with written plans generally succeed. If you don't write it down, well, I'll get it in my brain. No, what am I going to have? What's my diet going to be like? What kind of foods do I absolutely positively have to have? What kind of foods can I absolutely positively avoid? Now, let's say that I'm on a diet that I'm avoiding carbs. That doesn't mean I have to avoid them 30 days out of a month. Maybe once every week, or once every 2 weeks, I go down and I have a nice Italian meal or Mexican meal, and I pig out on carbs. Okay, one meal is not going to hurt anything, but you have a plan, and you can get away with one. You can't do 5 meals in a row that are all Italian or Mexican or something that allows you to just overindulge in carbohydrates. So begin with a written plan. What is your exercise today? What is it tomorrow? What is it the next day? Look at your calendar. What is your plan for those things? Are you doing some kind of stress management? What times do you go to bed? What times do you get up? How long did it take you to get to bed? Lots and lots and lots of things you have control over. Begin with the basics. Food choices. That's simple. Time of day you eat. If you're on an intermittent fasting, you can eat the exact same foods over 3 different meals or on one meal. And if you're on one meal, you'll actually lose weight because of the timing mechanism in eating. So the time of day is critical. The kinds of foods, do they increase your glycemic index? Again, go to Google for that one. Fiber content. You want your microbiome in your gut to be happy. Fiber is one way of doing it. Total calories, the pH of the food you're eating. That's super critical, especially as you get older and you start running into bone density issues. The pH of your body is a major, major factor. The methods you use for cooking. Are you creating AGEs, advanced glycation end products, by overheating, scorching, charring? Those are things. Serving size is something you absolutely can control. Years ago, I'm talking about years ago, maybe 10 years ago, we changed to just eating off a salad plate. What's over on there, that's it. That's that. So our serving size is automatically reduced. Now for Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, we'll pull out the big plates and go crazy. But again, that's one meal. Intermittent fasting, extended fasting, all of those things become part of the solution. So I have a better plan to eat better. Well, what is better? To eat healthier. But that's only one part of it. So the exercise for some people is no problem. For other people, it's a big problem. But it's a conundrum. What do? I can't go out and run 5 miles every day. I can. I used to do that all the time. But maybe nowadays I'm getting older. I can't run with some of the heart medicines I'm taking. I can't do it. I just don't have the endurance. But I can do balance for 2 or 3, 4 minutes a day. I can do some flexibility things. I can do a lot of things. And who is my instructor? YouTube. Lots of things you can do just sitting in front of your TV set, sitting in front of your phone. You can walk, you can climb stairs, balance yourself better with shoes, without shoes, with a firm surface, on a not so firm surface, flexibility exercises. All of those things help. Not everything has to be weightlifting and running. They're in and of themselves for people who do it and can do it, go for it. Plank exercise to get that core nice and tight. Those are all things you can do. Go to the sauna, go to a cold dip. Lots and lots of things we can do. Outside's better than inside. Fresh air, sunshine, comfort to a large degree. But YouTube has literally hundreds of things you can do. Go look up Tai Chi for aging, Qigong for aging, general daily exercises. But do something daily. Mix it up. During a commercial break, stand up and do 3 minutes of something. Whether it's just the arms moving back and forth, but do something. Incrementally mix things up. Find what makes you happy and what makes you better. But again, change out periodically. Quality sleep, difficult with stress. If you're stressed out about something, someone, something, money, people, it doesn't matter. You're generally not going to sleep well. Your body's not going to repair itself as well or as quickly. So what do you think about when you try and go to sleep? That's probably what you need to do your stress management on. What schedule do you go to sleep? How many lights are on? Lights are a big issue. Snooze alarm, do you punch it how many times? That's another indicator of the quality of sleep you get. The temperature you're sleeping at, when you ate last, when you drank alcohol last, they all factor into the quality of your sleep. Again, YouTube has many, many, many solutions. And I'm sure there's something in there that'll work. Find it, try it. But sleep allows your body to heal itself, and you have to give it the time. Stress. What stresses you? Well, some people it's the relatives, the family, TV, news, work, traffic, bills, financial issues, health, future health, weather, poor sleep, diet. It's different for everyone. Some people can let it go. Some people just reach out and they will not let go no matter what. Talk to yourself about it. Let go. I said, let go, Red. Let go. Red.olaughlin, let it go. Talk to yourself. YouTube has many options to manage stress. Breathing exercises, smiling, laughter, physically getting out of the stressor situation. If it's your wife, kind of hard to get away. If it's your kid, maybe not so hard. If it's your boss, well, for 16 hours a day, you're away from him or her. So there are things you can do. Look at your prescription drugs. Sometimes the side effects on those are controlling some of the things that you don't want to have happen. If that's the case, are there some natural options you can replace those with? Are your drugs interfering with each other? Go talk to your pharmacist. Your doctor probably doesn't know. Are there food interference issues with your drugs? Google, artificial intelligence, YouTube, all has a lot of information on foods that interfere with drugs. But talk to your doctor about getting off of some of them. Sometimes we're on drugs forever and we keep increasing the dosage, but there are so many things we can do to get off of the drugs, and we should seriously think about it. Lifestyle choices are personal, they're changing, and they're habit forming. We need to develop cleaner, healthier habits. What else is critical? Inflammation. It's chronic low-level cellular inflammation. Control that, and you control a lot of future disease. Long-term poor quality sleep affects us. And taking sleep aids is not the answer, because that's an artificial impact in the body and not allowing you to get that deep, natural sleep that's required for repair. Anxiety and depression could be something as simple as a nutrient deficiency. Several B vitamins can induce depression. Go to YouTube, see what you can do. Chronic inactivity, probably one of the worst things you can do, a couch potato. But habits are hard to break. They really and truly are, but you got to start somewhere. Okay, today I'm going to, whatever it is, write it down. So work to your strengths first, the things that are easy to do, but there's some things that are easy not to do. So try to do the easy things to do and try to do the easy not to do things, and you'll start making some advancement. Give yourself at least 30 days, because it's going to take a while to develop a new habit, to change old habits. You got questions? Put it into YouTube or Google. How do I do this? And in AI, the prompt is everything. Ask AI what prompt you need to use in order to get the answer that you want. It'll tell you. But if you just go in there and say, tell me how to do this. No, tell AI what you want as a prompt in order to get the answer that you want. And then you tweak it from there. Nutrient balance, super critical. Caloric restriction. We should be living easily on 30% less calories than most of us eat. And you'll find out that you'll look younger, live longer, and have less disease as you get older. It works that way with animals all the time. Intermittent fasting, portion control, stress management, mixing exercise routines, not doing the same thing every single day. But a personal plan is only as good as a planner. That's you. If you're not thinking about it, let's start with awareness. You don't have to go in and become educated. Start with awareness. What are you making decisions to do and not to do? Write it down. Written, accountability. Review those periodically. Put them on your phone as a calendar issue. But incremental change, start doing something. And you'll be amazed what can happen in 30 days. But start today. There's no reason you have to think about it and start tomorrow. But have fun, enjoy life, let it go, work on yourself. I don't know if that's my last slide or not. Yes, it was. Well, sometimes those things happen, sometimes they don't. I thought I had one more slide, but it is what it is. So again, letting it go. Normally my shows are 40 minutes, and today my shows will probably be about 39 minutes. It happens. So wishing everybody a very, very happy Merry Christmas holiday season. I will not have a show on Christmas Day, either my shows, the Corner Bookstore, The Wise Ones, or Talking Heads. But I will be back on January 1st, and looking forward to that. So I wish everyone again, I appreciate the USA Global TV and Radio Network audience for ranking me number 3 this past year as TV host. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, I am going to bid everybody adieu, and you all have a wonderful time, and take care. Bye now.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.